Oh, no. I'm not fast enough with my camera, right? Oh! Hey, 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 hey! What in the world? Hey. They were all eating this, like, okay, calm down. Calm down. I put some grit there and they were all nicely sharing it and eating, and then I ran to get my camera and then somebody wanted to dance in it. Get out of it. Come on. Go. There, no. Anyways. And Cutie, who's 4 years old, was like hopping and flying and pop flying and so happy. And I missed all of it. Get out of there. Come on. Whoa. Scotty. Oh, I got this hanging here. So I could keep this open. Actually, Rick's going to put in some sort of, I think it's called a check valve. Because see how it's all plastic? Doesn't seem to have, like, put a damper on things. But I want some more air through. So I'm going to leave these open. But I need to put up, you know, so they don't fly out and start running around the basement. Just need more air. Huh. Scott. Anyways, I come in here. Oh, look at that one. This is snuggling. And the season is over. And this light is only on 5 hours a day. Like 10 a.m. to 3. So that they get the gradual increase and the gradual decrease. But I saw Frankie jump on a girl. And I'm thinking, what is going on? Look, there he is over there. He's sleeping. That's why he's sleeping so much. Why? Why at this time of the year? What the heck? Aww. They have lots of food, but I think today I'm going to change their water. I'm doing a gallon at a time and just washing it with soap and water. Stop it! This is how they actually share by Scotty! By doing a little dance and scratching it out for others. They're so funny. Got a little one there too. They've come alive! Actually, they were just sitting here. It's just because I'm here that they're running around. So I gave them something. Gave them something to do. Alright, there's the two males. Frankie, which I need to clip his beak, and Scott. What? Poop. Anyways, they seem to be enjoying the leaves. I went and touched the bunny upstairs and I have to take a little breathing medicine and I kept running by it. I'm not allergic to these ones at all, but bunny, unfortunately, starts a cascade and I wish I could be over it. Scott! You're so loud. So pleased with himself. I think he calls those girls to the corner. He's calling them and he's rounding them up or something. I'm trying to figure out what the heck he's doing. He's got another quail in this corner. He's playing quail in the corner. Now he's going to call again. Watch. Okay. Just can't help himself. So he's got to have all the quails in the corner. I don't know whether he's saying that I'm a danger. I don't think so. Oh, just walk all over me. Walk all over me. Ow, ow. Huh. Well, you must love me. No, seriously. I've never even seen him. She's saying, like, don't you know even how to do it? I don't know if he's ever done it before in his life. Whoa! What the? Why was he jumping? Anyways, I'm always trying to figure them out. Aww, got a dancer. Aww. Hey. So there. Oh, that one's still sleeping. I'm tired. Whoops. Ah, there goes the fan. Anyways, there's Finn. Hi, Finn. Finn is so cautious. Finn. There's Tula. Ooh, she's so happy. Finn, what do you think? You're a handsome boy. Look at him moving so cautiously. I don't know why he does that. Finn, what are you doing? I'm going to move very, very cautiously. Don't. Scott has got another quail in the corner now, another two. Oh, that's that same. Is that Sophia? Sophia loves Scott. She's a wanton hussy. Never mind. It's life. It's so funny. Tula. Hello. Jerry. Here goes Petula. Petula is my only tuxedo. She's like one color on the back and then white in the front. Scott, you're so loud. Actually, I'm so sorry to say, but I'm in the city, so, and when I made the two hatches, number one, I was practicing a hatch, and I was just fascinated with doing it, because generally they don't really sit on their eggs. Now they can, but you got to get the right circumstances. Anyways, so I made these two hatches, and then I was like studying a lot on what do you call? It's not sustainability, but homesteading and stuff like that. Good Lord, I just noticed that Finn has a long beak. Anyways, so we had to what they call dispatch the males, and they were like really loud, and suddenly started ripping each other's heads off, literally, and you'd have to house them separately, I think, and they would still call. So my neighbor didn't care. He's from a farm long ago, but I still felt like, no, it's not acceptable. It's not as loud as a rooster. Anyways, so it was the hardest thing we ever did. Oh, there's Frankie. It was the hardest thing that I ever did in my life, and I really don't want to do it again. And we drove like not 1,000 miles, but really far, and spoke to this farming. We went to get motorcycle parts. It was a farm, a beautiful farm, and they used to have 40 steer, and then they only had 7. And I said, well, I'm like, what happened to the rest of them? Anyways, they told me the facts of life, and I said, well, how could you bear to eat them? Or I don't know how I asked, but she says, okay, And I probably told her, well, like, we are not looking forward to this whole thing about the quail. I really, I think they're like my babies, kind of, and not really, but and she said, well, the way that they coped with it, because I think it's even hard for a farmer, because they get to know their livestock. Well, this is, you have to, life is precious, and you don't torture them. You give them a good life. Frankie, and all this, and they put them in the freezer. But dispatching them, I read about how you can make them go into a trance and make themselves go limp, but I didn't realize I wasn't going far enough. They were sort of relaxed, but not really. And then there was one that, when I was bringing it up, like, we brought them up one at a time so that they were just not terrorized by being put in a separate box or something. So they, we tried to give them a good life every second of the time that they were alive. And this one Italian named Chester, of course I named my food, but he's not, anyways, he cried. Okay, so the different quail have different personalities, but the different colors also have different traits. So this one here is a really bouncy kind of, well, it's laid down now, but this fawn colored one, which I called Fen, is very laid back, but that right behind him, the dark one, and this dark one, Jackson, they can really bounce, and they're very quick to jump and everything. That Pharaoh is kind of like half and half, but the white ones are very struggly. Not all of them, but the general feeling I get is they're very feisty and struggly. But that one there is halfway, so that one is partly an Italian. Okay, that one that cried was like, it looked like Finn, sort of. Chester, and he cried when I was taking him up from the basement up to this kitchen sink where Rick was doing that. So originally our whole thing was, okay, we're going to have them for eggs. And then after a few years reading stuff, I thought, I think maybe I could do this. I really don't want to do it again. I don't. Well, anyways, we put them in the freezer, and it took me months before we started eating them. And they were good. So the thing is, you have to kill to live. If it's not a wonderful quail, it's a sweet darling plant. And make no mistake, a sweet darling plant, they faint, they cry, they have feelings, and they're just the most vulnerable because you can't hear them. And that is according to The Secret Life of Plants, which they proved it. They can do things like warn you that there's intruders in your house, and yeah. And they remember if you're the one that intentionally burned them or something terrible. Like, I don't like experiments, but not that kind. Anyway, so that's my rant. Aww. I think they're really liking the leaves. I think they really like the leaves. That's a rescue. She's always been a little bit flighty. One time she flew into the yard. Thank God the dog wasn't there. Into another neighbor's yard. And I heard this fluttering, and I'm like, where is she? Where is she? She really flew. Holy mackerel. I also found out the physiology of the flying, like how, okay, a pigeon is so, these are not pigeons, they're quail, but I was reading about pigeons. Stop scattering it so other people can get it later. And they have, okay, when they breathe, it goes straight past, bypasses the lungs and goes into kind of an air sac. And then when they fly, they're like athletes of the sky. And then when they're, it's like a check valve that Rick is talking about putting in here so that this exhaust will pull more air from, I don't know if it's called ambient, but anyways, from the room. So the pigeons have like a one-way mechanism for the lungs. So they breathe in the tube, the breathing tube. It goes down into the get out of there. Into the air sac where the fresh air is kept, and then it goes out through their lungs one way. So they never build up lactic acid or the carbon. Is it carbon monoxide? Oh, dang. Or carbon dioxide, or whatever it is that builds up in us so that we get tired. So these guys must have something, maybe the same, because they are birds. And when they do a migration, which they don't do, because these have been domesticated for 5,000 years or something. Will you stop that? They're also athletes. They don't even practice, and then they're all able to fly hundreds and hundreds of miles. Let's just pretend that they were in the Mediterranean. They go from North Africa to the Mediterranean and then back again and they all do it at once. Like boom, they just pop up. They fly to better climate a couple times a year, like back and forth. Not all the time. So otherwise, they're a ground bird. They just go on the ground, and that's cool. Scott, you're so loud. Scotty boy. The girls are so pushy. They actually go in front of a male and go like deliberately in front of them and like they snuggle them with their soft feathers in order to entice them. Because they love them. Love, 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 love.